speaking of on the way, fellas, the Bills are on the way. I mean, they have blown out what has seemingly been a Dallas Cowboys team that, looks to be a Super Bowl contending, need I say, a Super Bowl contending type of team, and they go out and they get waxed by the Bills. So now they have a Chargers team that is head coachless. They have a Patriots team that is head coachless. Dang, almost head coachless. Almost. And then they finish out with a strong one with the Dolphins on January 7th, which, we all know that's like almost like a preview of top teams right there. What's y'all's take on the Bills right now? Can we trust them?
Man, absolutely, man. I said earlier this week that the Buffalo Bills remind me of our 07 team that went on to, win a Super Bowl because they're flying under the radar. And nobody is really, looking for the Bills, to first of all make the playoffs, and they may be in a position to win the AFC East after all. In week 17, week 18 when they played the Miami Dolphins. And I just think that if Josh Allen continues to play the way that he's been playing over the past month, and if he gets hot, he can will this football team, for the remainder of the season for these 3 weeks to win the AFC East and get into the playoffs. Because right now, if you're an AFC football team, I mean, outside of probably, I would say, Baltimore and Kansas City, you don't want to play the Buffalo Bills right now. And if they sneak into the playoffs, which everybody had pretty much written them off because, the way they was playing, in the first part of the season, and then Ken Dorsey gets fired, and now you look at how efficient and how effective this offense have been since Joe Brady has become the offensive coordinator. I mean, it's been night and day, but offensively for this team. So right now, man, listen, the Buffalo Bills are on a track to be hot and be playing the best football right now, and that's what you want going into the playoffs.
The Bills are looking like a team that nobody wants to play. Oh, man, please let me avoid Buffalo. Like, nobody wants to play Josh Allen and the Bills the way they look right now. They just blew the Dallas Cowboys out, who everybody was high on. Josh Allen didn't even throw for 100 yards. Josh Allen didn't throw for 100 yards. And they blew the Cowboys out. And so now they're showing us we can win a different way. We don't have to be so reliant on Josh Allen. And if they can continue to play this brand of football, this style of football where it just isn't Josh Allen. Oh, he got to win the game for us. He don't win the game for us. He has a bad game. We don't really have a chance. I was extremely impressed the way they just big boyed the Cowboys.
Yeah, they did.
This the table we want to sit at. Y'all go find another table. And the Cowboys had no choice but to find another table. And so that style of football in the playoffs, that travels. Can they do it week in and week out is the question. They have not shown us they can do. They haven't shown us they can do it, and they've been so inconsistent that's why it's. Do you trust the Bills? Does it? If they can play this way, if they can continue to, they're not going to always run for over 200 yards. But if they can just run the ball effectively, the way they play defense with Josh Allen, they're scary. Now, the wild card is this. Stephon Diggs, if you look at the last 6-7 games, he's been somewhat of a non-factor. And so you are not going to be able to win big playoff games with your best receiver not playing like your best receiver. They have to figure that out. What's going on? Is it him? Is it the offense? Is it play design? Is it not whatever it is? They got to figure that out because they are a team that nobody wants to play because everybody knows we play the Bills. Unless Josh Allen turns the ball over, win a dogfight. If they can run the ball, it's over.
we talked about a dangerous team in this Buffalo Bills team, but the Los Angeles Rams. Did I say it? The L.A. Rams. Don't look now, but they're 8-7, and they have a tilt coming with the New York Giants. Danny DeVito. He's tired of being the DeVito of the NFL. But they got a very winnable game coming up against the Giants, and then they finish out the year with the San Francisco 49ers, which the Niners may have the number 1 seed wrapped up by next week, and may not have much to play for. This Rams team could possibly put together a 2-game winning streak heading into what seemingly is a lock for a wild card bid in the NFC and a second place finish in the West. What's your take? How are you guys seeing this with the playing out with Sean McVay and these Los Angeles Rams?
Man, when you look at, does anybody want to play the Rams the way they're playing on offense?
They balling.
That's the thing where you don't want to play a team that's quarterbacked by Matthew Stafford, who's won a Super Bowl, who's playing extremely well. Offensively, you got Cooper Kupp, you got Puka Nacua, you got Kyron Williams.
Rookie of the year?
He's missed 4 games and is the second leading rusher in the National Football League.
I know C.J. Stroud is the guy, but Puka has Puka is balling.
If C.J. doesn't, I believe this will be the last weekend that C.J. misses the concussion, but Puka going to be right there for Rookie of the Year, if not win it.
If not win it.
The way that he's playing. And so who wants to play the Rams in the playoffs? That's you don't want to play them. Points per game, they're in the top 10. Yards per game, they're in the top 10. And so they can beat you on the ground. We know they can beat you in the air. And so the way the Rams are playing, what Sean McVay has done with a team that, let's be honest, people thought would win 3-4 games. They're going to beat the Giants this weekend. And it's what you said. The Niners may have home field advantage wrapped up. They may sit everybody. The Rams will get into the playoffs. And so for a team that many thought was rebuilding, which they are, but they're rebuilding and being very competitive on their way to the playoffs. The way they're playing offensively with Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford, nobody wants to see the Rams. And you got to give Raheem Morris a ton of credit.
Yes, you do.
Because when they traded Jalen Ramsey and they started to get rid of pieces, the thought was, okay, yeah, the Rams are rebuilding. But and this is a rebuild. They're just rebuilding and being competitive and winning at the same time. And so what he's done on the defensive side of the ball, that can't go unnoticed, because if everything isn't meshing and we're not on the same page, it doesn't matter what the offense or defense is doing. It's complementary football, and that's what they're doing in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm. Man, I think for the Rams, what I've been saying offensively, man, it's just going to come down to Matthew Stafford. I mean, he's been playing well over the last month. I give him that. But, he can go on these binges of having inconsistent play for weeks at a time. And, just like the other day when he was scrambling out to his left, he throws this sidearm, underarm pass. Like, why would you even put the ball in harm's way in a situation like that? We seen him, he can be a kamikaze at times as far as turning the football over. It's just like you said, for Raheem, man, in this defense with, getting rid of Von Miller and, getting rid of Jalen Ramsey. I mean, obviously you still have, Aaron Donald. He's getting double and sometimes triple team on defense. But just last week, what they scored 31 points, 30 points. So the offense is really clicking, and you look at this kid Puka Nacua, man. They actually found a true gem, in this young man. 96 catches, 1,300 yards. Those are first team All-Pro numbers.
He gonna set the rookie record, bro.
Yeah, he's 147 yards from setting the rookie record.
Broke.
And those are first team All-Pro numbers, man. And this kid is a rookie. And, I saw that play he made the other day, man, falling down. I mean, that's the way you play the wide receiver position, man. So, obviously, they have everything they need. Kyron Williams, man, this is the way this guy's been running the football. And they can get this kid, DeMarcus Robinson, to keep playing the way that he's playing. in addition to Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, man, this offense can be good, but it's going to come to the Achilles heel of this offense going to come down to Matthew Stafford. Can he be consistent week in and week out and play good football? That's what it's going to come down to for the Rams.
I'm going to go on the defense side of the ball. Y'all mentioned it, but y'all stayed offensive heavy. Y'all left a lot of meat on the bone for me. Ernest Jones. If you don't know his name, you need to get to know his name. He's a linebacker. He's out of South Carolina. Balling. I mean, he is balling. He's got 4.5 sacks. He's over 100 tackles in his in this season at 132. Dude is getting it in. You also got the safety and Mr. Fuller, Jordan Fuller. If you're a Buckeye fan, you know that he can ball. And let's not get it confused. The anchor of this defense, where you always have a chance, is Aaron Donald. He has quietly, which I don't understand, because maybe it's because they lost for so much, or just have been an inconsistent team for much of this year, and they weren't accomplishing at the level that they were when they were heading towards their Super Bowl run. But he has quietly, obscurely had a masterful season again. Like, the dude has 6 sacks. Like, that might not be as many as it has been in the past, but he's got pass deflections. He's got 6 pass defenses, which is, for a defensive lineman, that's a lot. He's forced a fumble. He has played at a very, very high level, an MVP level, if you ask me, for the duration of this season. And yeah, I give a lot of credit. To Raheem Morris for pulling together what would seemingly be a patchwork style of a defense.